Hello again. In this position, white has set the task to deliver checkmate in 4 moves. Once you've found the key move, there are 2 variations. It's pretty straightforward in the first one, but somewhat more complicated in the second, so clearly we'll leave the complicated one until last. What is to be noted about this position, first of all, is that material is broadly even, although you can't always go by material on the board. It is, as I've made clear on this channel many times, the overall layout of the position. Now white seems to be in a bit of bother here, doesn't he, because his rook is all freeze, but more important than that for white is that black is threatening queen h2 checkmate. So if it were black's move first in this position, the game would be over very quickly. Thankfully it is white's move. So what would you say is the key move here to set white on the route to delivering checkmate in 4 moves? I don't think the key move is all that difficult. The second move is perhaps more difficult, but once you get into the second variation it becomes difficult indeed to see that key move, the third move for white in other words. Can you see the key move? Well, the key move is bishop to e6 check, and black has 2 variations here. He can either move his king to g3 or he can interpose the bishop. Well, if he moves the king to g3, we put the rooks in a parallel format, which is pretty typical in these sorts of positions, delivering check. Now black only has 1 move. He must interpose his bishop this time around. White takes that bishop, check. The king comes here, and then white has a choice of going to any one of these 4 squares or any of these 2 at the back rank, and that is checkmate because of the discovered check of the bishop. So nothing too complicated there for white. However, what you will see is a slight difference in the second variation. So that's back to the original position. White delivers check there. This time black interposes his bishop. The problem for black here, of course, is that now his bishop is pinned. The only chance that he would have is taking this, but white is not going to allow him to do that. So can you see white's second move here? Well, congrats to those that have seen it. It is rook to f3, and white is taking full advantage of this bishop being pinned. Now, this is snuffing out queen h2 completely, because black has to interpose his queen. And we have the rather curious situation there that both black's bishop pinned and black's queen pinned. Now comes the most difficult part of this, the third move, white's key move here in what is really a mate in 2. Can you see it? Well, again, congrats to those that have seen it. It is rook on h5 to f5, and black has 4 replies. He can go bishop h5, bishop f5, bishop f3, or queen f3. Well, let's look at bishop h5. Does this pose any problems? I don't think so, because white says thank you very much. I'll have a discovered check there, your queen is pinned, and that's checkmate. So no problem with that. The second variation is where black takes this rook off. Is there much different about this? Not really, because instead, this time, white takes the rook, bishop, beg your pardon, check, queen pinned, checkmate. No problem at all. So what about the remaining 2 variations? Well, again, we take the rook on f3 this time, and black delivers check. Nothing annoying about that. Can you see how white finishes this? Yes, what we do is we pin the black queen with the other rook this time, and the bishop with the discovered check is mate. So that's 3 of the 4 variations out the way. Black wanted to deliver checkmate on h2. He's going to have to satisfy himself instead with taking this rook. So let's have a look at this, and it's with check. So what happens here? Well, this time the rook delivers check, and the bishop is pinned, and that is checkmate. And that is a wonderful example of how you can pin down the opponent in blistering fashion. I hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye for now.